Welcome back to MVFF, Mount Vernon's first annual film festival, and I am here with actor, right? Creator, right?
Yeah. My name is Daniel Padulo. I did A Haunt in Bushwick. I wrote it, I directed it, and I acted in it. Yeah, that's what we did.
All right, so I would love for you to let the people that are watching know, like, when it came to the process of creating your film, were there like any main difficulties that you wish that you knew before starting that you learned while doing?
The budget. I really thought I planned it out. I really tried my best, and I feel like this is probably a common thing, but we went right over so fast. That was probably the biggest lesson learned in terms of making films. So I'm sure a lot of people can probably relate to that. That was the biggest thing.
Okay, so go ahead and let us know like a little bit of the film that you created.
So, Han Bushwick is essentially a ghost roommate that's really annoying, right? That's the whole premise, and he's annoying. He's annoying this woman named Danielle, and what I love about it is that the reason I really created it was that I needed a reason for me to just kind of like let my ADHD just loose. You know what I mean? Any funny face or stupid thing that I can do, I needed an excuse to do it on camera. So I kind of created the whole scenario around that. So anything that I'm doing is just what I would do if I was like alone in a room.
I freaking love that. I really love that. And now you're talking about ghosts, right? So that sounds like a new supernatural element. So I'm really curious on like what went into like the wardrobe and things in that nature. You have any stories about that?
Oh God, yes I do. So in terms of the wardrobe, the ghost he died in 2007, and he's haunting this poor woman, right? And the wardrobe, we chose an Ed Hardy shirt, but the thing is that it was they had like these kind of bejeweled like buttons on it that were like raised, and I was so afraid to wash it, and that it was going to ruin it. Anything was going to fall off, and it was going to be horrible in making it. We only had one shirt, so I couldn't wash it. So for the duration of filming it for 3 days, I didn't wash it, and I smelled really bad. It was a sacrifice that we had to make. We're all cramped in an apartment. At one point, we're all cramped in the bathroom filming it. I gotta, shout out to my crew because they had to put up with it, and also shout out to my crew because I should not have decided to give everyone Mexican on the day that we shot because we all, the whole thing took place in an apartment. So I'm not even going to go into detail of what happened, but it was a lot. It was a lot of lessons learned.
I'm learning a lesson too. Don't eat Mexican food when you're stuck in a. Whoa, okay, that's really interesting. So when it came to submitting to this film festival, like what was there like a thought that you had like when you created the film that you're going to send it to a film festival? Like what were your thoughts of the film? Like how did it get here?
So I just moved to Mount Vernon, actually, and when I heard that there was a Mount Vernon Film Festival, I jumped right on it, because it's right in my back door. I'm curious about what the culture is around Mount Vernon. Actually, being here, I'm not gonna lie, I learned a lot about Mount Vernon and how there's actually a lot of history here and a lot of culture, and I had no idea. I just moved here. This is my first time in this part of the neighborhood, man. You know what I mean? I've just been in my home, and I operate in the city, so that's where I usually go. But now that I'm actually being around here and seeing everything and all the other filmmakers based out in Mount Vernon, this is really cool, and I would love to do a film in Mount Vernon. So that's how it pretty much got here. I saw it, I jumped on it. I'm so glad, I'm happy that I got accepted to it, and I would love to do more here.
Well, where are you from originally? Where did you move from?
So I moved from New York City. I lived in Manhattan, and it's it's a little expensive. So I decided to go somewhere, try something new, and I went to Fleetwood, and I love it there. So I'm not that far from here, and I really like it, and I just was curious about it. And like I said, as soon as I saw this, my curiosity just, I needed to hop on. I needed to know more about it. So Moving from the city, it was a little bit of a culture shock because it's a little more quieter here. But it's really I like it a lot here. The air is like fresh. It's not like the city where you kind of just go from one smell to another. You know what I mean? It's like real. I don't know. I love this place, man. Dude, I got my barber's number. You know, it's a community here, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I made friends. It's sick, dude. So that's pretty much how we got here.
Okay, okay. So you're talking about Mount Vernon, and you're talking about film and the film festival, of course. Was there any films in there that you felt inspired you for maybe your next project, or inspired you to maybe collab with other local film makers?
So, the one that was, I forgot all the names because there were so many films. I like the concept of, I really like the concept of Snuggles. I think it was called Snuggles, the bear. I like the idea of like a demonic possessed bear, like the heavy footsteps. The voice was really creepy. You know, I like the creepy scenes of it, like coming out of like the fuzz. I thought it was really cool. That was definitely inspiring. That, and I saw a jiu-jitsu film, and I gotta tell you, that was someone representing jiu-jitsu. I do the sport, so like it's seeing someone actually accurately represent jiu-jitsu and what it is to like fight, I thought was really cool. And in terms of like self-defense, and I got really excited seeing it, so I was really biased toward that. So probably those two things are my biggest inspirations taking away from this.
Okay. Well, thank you again. Thank you very much for answering the questions, and you heard it here, folks.